Hey guys, Killer Saw here. Back at it again after about like 3 months of not uploading. Okay, so today I wanted to give my thoughts on Space Marine 2. I think Space Marine 2 is a great game, but I have some thoughts that I want to get out there about Space Marine 2. In particular, there's a couple of things I want to acknowledge about the game, things it does well, things it doesn't do well, and all that stuff. So let's get into that. First thing that it does really well is I think it does its combat extremely well. The gunplay is far more satisfying than the original game. The melee combat feels weighty, just like the original. The different classes are unique. There's brand new weapon types, as well as a lot of Primaris stuff, which I really, really appreciate. But yeah, Space Marine 2, I wasn't really impressed with its story. Not that Space Marine 1 had all that really good of a story, but I am glad that there are a couple new factions in the game. Like, I'm glad to see the Tyranids represented very well in the game. I'm very happy about the Thousand Suns being in the game, which, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the promo material, the Thousand Suns are definitely in the game. Um, I haven't touched the PvP yet, but I've heard really good things and seen a lot of really fun interactions between people. Also, you can play as the Night Lords, Ave Dominus Nox Shit Lords. So yeah, I'm actually very, very happy with the game. I think it strikes an itch that I've had for a long time about Warhammer games. I've wanted a Warhammer game that isn't a strategy game. Admittedly, Warhammer's such a massive franchise that you almost have to do a strategy game in order to capture the scale of the universe. But I've with modern day graphic technology, I've wanted Warhammer to do and take more risks when it comes to their games. I'm as much as I love Warhammer strategy games, I know not everyone is into Warhammer strategy games. So like that's why I think like Dark Tide was a really good idea, because a horde shooter set in the Warhammer universe is actually a really good idea. And I think Space Marine 2 going down that same route was actually a fucking amazing idea. Um I'm really excited because they're going to be adding new enemy types, new classes, new character customization. I'm hoping that you can more fully customize the Heretic Astartes, because right now all you can really do with the Heretic Astartes, from what I can see, is customize their colors and like some slight appearance alterations. Um, I do like the dialogue of all of the Heretic Astartes. They're all voice acted really well. The voice acting in the game is actually quite fantastic. So you know, but there's a couple things I don't like about the game. So one thing in particular that I'm not the biggest fan of is the way the game handles its narrative. So I will say the game is definitely meant to be played in co-op. It feels like it was designed from the ground up with co-op in mind, but I still think that that Warhammer needs to have like some good co-op games, but I really want like a strong single player campaign. So all in all, it's a good game. Do I think it's the best Warhammer game ever made? No, not in the slightest. I think that it has probably one of the best presentations of Warhammer's lore. Surprisingly, they actually do the lore of Warhammer pretty accurately compared to a lot of other Warhammer games. Which, to be fair, like lore accuracy is kind of difficult with some games. Like for example, in Total War 3, that when you play as Slanesh, it's not as BDSM or gore or Cenobite heavy. Which, I mean, if you were to do that, they would have to have like an adult only rating. So that's besides the point. I think the game has fantastic gameplay. I think it has really good level design, surprisingly. The levels actually are far better than the original Space Marine 1. The art style is much better. Pretty much everything about the game is better aside from the story, because it's about the same, if I'm being perfectly honest. Titus, even though he's not played by Mark Strong anymore, is still a fascinating character. And yeah, I just wanted to give my thoughts on the game. I promise I apologize for being gone so long. I'm working on the Magnus, the Red video. It should be out next week, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time.